All right, welcome back to the new user video series. We're going to be talking about the scheduling engine, probably one of the more powerful modules in the Rocketship platform. So with the scheduling engine, we're talking about scheduling work, not booking appointments. We have a module for that. We'll go over that video later in the series. But when we talk about scheduling, it's the actual work to be done. 80% of the work on tickets does not involve a phone call to the customer. For example, if you have to apply a patch, check up on a backup, make a change in the back end of a workstation or a server. None of that actually requires a phone call to the customer. Most IT work does not involve a phone call to the customer. Your tier one help desk, that generally is phone call based, but your higher tiers generally are not. And so let's worry about that first. And so what happens is we call these work events. You can rename this in the admin to whatever you want to for your site, but we call them work events. When you schedule a work event, it will schedule a resource based on their availability. And so let's say that you have lunch today at 12, and then you have several other tickets you're working, and this is low priority. Well, you would expect this to be booked later in the day or potentially a few days from now. And that's what a dispatcher would do. They would look at a calendar, move stuff around, get it organized. Well, this is all automated now. So what we're going to do is we're going to click work event. We're going to start off with a quick demo of what you're going to expect to see, and then we're going to look at how that works. So there's only one person on this ticket. That's the primary resource. And we come predefined with some blocks of time. I want to schedule them for 1 hour. No sooner than days just means don't schedule them any sooner than, say, 5 days. For example, if you're working on backups and you need it to complete, there's no point in working on it in 2 hours. So you would just say, look, don't work on it any sooner than 2 days from now. And you can include notes as well. The service call. Click submit. And so what's going to happen now is the scheduling engine is going to look at Dustin Test P. Pierce's schedule and find an open block for them. And what's nice is it will put this on the board for this person. And so let's see here. I think this is the one. Hi. And currently I have this configured where it requires me to accept it. So I'm going to click accept. And it added it to my board. So if I go over here and I have a high, then I do a work event, you would expect this to come before that low because it's a high priority ticket. And so I'm going to go ahead and submit this. And then I will go back over here. And it could take a couple of seconds. We're hitting the API right now. There it goes. Click accept. And let's see if we can figure out where these are. And so high, and that was another one. So this is the high, but notice, and it's the high, the word high. But notice our low priority tickets are down here, and our high priority tickets are way up here. Exactly what you would expect. A high priority ticket should be worked before. This is always going to be sorted on this side by SLA plus priority. So what just happened? So if you go here and you go to the scheduling, not the appointments, I literally just said that's not what we're working on, the work events. Notice we have these blocks of time configured. And you can configure whether or not it routes around existing Autotask appointments. These are usually synced with Exchange, holidays. And so it's really smart. And it also is time zone aware. So if you have somebody working in US Central and then you have somebody working in let's say England, then you can have another internal office there and you assign the resource to your England office. And when it does scheduling, it will correctly schedule them in the middle of their day, not at midnight your time. And so that's how you do it. So what we could do, we could create another one called a mega 8-hour block of time, not something you would normally do. And then you would do whatever 8 times 60 is. And then you can override this. We'll go into this later. You don't need to worry about this. And by default, you do want to keep these enabled. And then when you did that, it would begin showing up as a new option. I'll share with you, that's very rare to create new options. We've worked with customers over time to figure out the best options. And these tend to be the most common blocks of time. Quick fix is 15 minutes or less, and half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 4 hours. I hope you found that helpful.